All right, this is the Condor Yoshimi. My first machete. It's very thick. It's way less quality steel, but we're gonna see how it holds up to the same thing that messed up the high roller. It's not messed up. It's just imperfect now, and it chipped. I think it chipped. You think it chipped?
No.
You don't think it chipped?
No, it's smushed.
It's smushed.
Smushed.
Okay, hey, it's smushed. How do you get a smush out?
It's practically the same results. I guess you could hit it with a hammer and flatten it back out.
So
That sounds like a pain in the ass. I would just
still
file.
going to be a gap there.
I would just file it off. Yeah.
File it. Yeah. All right. So let's see what happens to this one. How's that look? Alright. Let's get the high roller back over here. Ooh. Oh, careful. All right, that's the end of it. So that thing took a hell of a beating, looks like absolute shit, but it completely chopped through the bone and the flesh. About 89, 95% of the swings. I mean, despite the damage it took, it cut through all of it. This didn't sever anything. I mean, it definitely wasn't shaving sharp, but it hadn't really seen a real good maintenance day at all in its life. So who knows, maybe it would have chopped better. But I mean, I gave her hell, and it broke lots of bones. It did what I always thought it would do if I ever had to get in a fight with it, which, here's some damage. Which was just crash through and break shit, which is all I ever wanted it for. So I'm at a bit of a conundrum, you know. The $900 one chopped it to bits. The edge looks like it's looking real chintzy. But it chopped through everything. It chopped it to bits. This didn't chop up anything. It broke some stuff. It got hung up in the meat. It was unwieldy. Couldn't really use it one-handed that well, especially in a confined place. Two-handed is what I needed to cut through. Every cut, every sever I did with that one was one-handed. I'm learning a lot. I'm learning about steel and about machetes and about using them on flesh and bone here today. And so are you. If you were curious enough to watch this long, I hope you're satisfied, and I hope you're walking away with a little bit more information. I'm kind of a 10-second Tom. I got a hole in my brain from an incident that happened, so it's hard for me to keep a lot of information, you know, in a sense-making order. So now, like I said, this is a bit of a conundrum. Okay, here's the difference on the fact that they slice differently. Blade geometry. The angle of this one is different than this one, where it's tapered. This one has none. This, yeah, very, very interestingly, despite the fact it took all this deformation, denting, waving, damage, it still cut through everything, which is pretty cool. But man, it's going to be an interesting sharpening video. So I do want to address something before I close out. You guys saw what I did with this one. I attacked the rib cage straight on. All the chops I did with this were straight against the bone and the meat. And nothing's really happened to this. I definitely didn't chop it into as thick of bones and as much as I did with this one, but the difference is totally obvious. And so when I got this one, this is the very first one. I think it said it was CRV 80 was the steel. It wasn't the Bone Tactical Super Steel. This is not the Bone Tactical Super Steel. I'm almost 100% positive. I mean, it's performed much differently than the Bone Tactical Super Steel. It's heavier. It's a little bit thicker, but I mean, before I bought it, I Googled the steel that it was made out of, and I think it was CRV 80 or something like that, and I liked what it said about it, what the internet had to say about the steel, so I didn't think it was a bad steel to have a machete of. But yeah, way different outcome with the Super Steel, because this is the first Space Cowboy, and that's when he was marketing the Super Steel. So I just want to notify everybody of the difference in steels we're dealing with. They both did the same thing. Well, I mean, this one I didn't take this one directly to the spine, but I've already done a lot of work with this. I kind of know what it can do. Wanted to see what this would do. Now I know. Let's just say if I'm going to a battle, I want both of these. I want both. If I come up against the chief, dressed, covered in hide and leather, and he wants to fight with honor, I will battle him with this one, because I am confident that this will pass through leather and buckle and flesh, ligament and bone, for sure. But that will be the only fight that it has. I don't want to get ahead of myself and say that, because you can always fight with an object. This I would want for the first part of the fight, when I'm getting through the guards, or whoever they may be, the guys with the armor, when I just basically need a club or a blunt force object. This is the one. So I'm not going to choose one over the other. I would take both. I'll see you guys again on the next sharpening video. This machete is one hell of a lot thicker than those Bone Tactical machetes. Therefore, it took really little to absolutely no damage on the same rib cage those Bone Tactical machetes, or at least that one, got all dinged up. So I got a little test on this femur bone I just want to check out real quick. It chopped through the femur. Let's try her one-handed. All right, let's see what kind of wear happened after I just hacked through a femur. Well, nothing happened there. All the action happened here. So that was, those swings I was doing were baseball bat, holding the Glock sideways, janky, just chopping a tree down swings.